Hello everybody, this is Mrs. T
and Miss Lemke.
Today we are going to make guacamole today in honor of
Hispanic Heritage Month.
So we want to make sure that all our ingredients are washed, including our hands. And we are going to be wearing face masks today
because we're not able to social distance right now. So we'll be wearing our masks and our gloves. So we also want to make sure that we have all of our ingredients. So we have our avocados, our limes, a yellow onion, tomatoes, salt, and cilantro.
Yes, and you also will need a nice bowl. It could be glass, it could be steel, anything that you have that's handy around you could use. And we are going to start off with, first let's tell them why we use a yellow onion.
Great idea. So yellow onions are way different from red or white onions that you can see in the store. They're available just like any other onion. However, we like to use the yellow onions because they have a much sweeter taste. It's not as sharp as a white onion. And it won't leave that onion taste in your mouth. It's not going to be as strong. It's not going to make your eyes water.
Yes. And you also probably want to make sure that your avocados are ripe. A good way to tell is you just grab one and you kind of touch it and it'll feel kind of soft. So that is one thing you want to make sure that your avocados are ripe.
Alright, so first off we are going to be cutting our avocados. I would recommend, if you don't feel comfortable or you don't have that much experience in the kitchen, I would definitely recommend getting a cutting board and cutting your materials on there. I have a little bit of experience in the kitchen and I've done this for quite some time, so I feel comfortable cutting it in my hand. However, I do not recommend that. Please make sure you feel comfortable when cutting. So we're just going to cut it in half. And there is a pit in the middle. So that also helps make sure that we don't cut all the way through into our hands.
And Mrs. Lemke, that's like a perfect way to cut an avocado as well. It's like really easy to do, and then you just kind of scoop out the seeds.
Yes. So you can definitely, it's going to scoop out pretty easily. We're going to cut this side first. So we are going to scoop this out. Whoop. This one's maybe a little bit harder.
Oh, that's okay.
Make sure also that you can, some people throw them away, some people compost them. Either option is fine to do. So once you've scooped that out, you can just put that to the side there, and we are going to just cut straight lines down.
Mrs. Lemke, as a child, my grandmother would put this in a glass of water and she would have an avocado plant right away.
That's also a great idea. Illinois climate is somewhat unpredictable, but it's one of the really easy plants to regrow. So you would just make sure that it's not completely submerged in water, and then the roots start growing pretty quick actually though. So once you cut straight down, you're going to do the same thing on its side. So, I don't know if you can tell, they are little cubes there. So then you're going to take your spoon and you're just going to dig in, put it over your bowl, and scoop it out. Alright, this is the last avocado. Your bowl should be somewhat full there. And you can see it's still cut into little pieces. We're not going to mush it just yet.
Okay everybody, we are going to cut the tomato. I usually like to cut the ends off here. I just don't want to bite down on something that's a little bit hard there, so I just take those off. So then we just kind of slice it real easily. It's going to be a little easier for you because you're not going to be wearing gloves. Oh, these tomatoes are just so ripe. They're right from Mrs. Lemke's garden. Oh, they're so delicious. Well, I'm trying to cut these the best way I can with gloves. So you're just going to take about maybe 3 tomatoes.
Alright, so now that Miss T has finished cutting our tomatoes, we're just going to slide them right into our bowl. Still no mashing, as we're going to wait for that. So we're just going to let that sit in there for a second while we cut our next ingredient. Alright, so next we are going to cut our cilantro. So there's a few different ways that you can cut it. You can take every single leaf off.
That's what I do.
That's what Miss T does. However, I'm a lot less patient than Miss T. So I kind of just make sure it's all washed off. And you're just going to kind of roll it together, make sure it's all one big clump.
Kind of like a taco.
Kind of, yes. Alright, and you're just going to really small cuts here. And don't get your gloves. Don't get your fingers.
Okay, now we're going to cut the onion. Usually what I do is I cut the ends off first, but you know, we're not going to use that much onion. I'm just going to cut a little piece off. I don't like too much onion in my guacamole. That's the good thing about guacamole, is that you could customize it to your taste. So if you don't like onion, don't put onion. But the good thing about the onion is it gives it a little flavor. So just do enough so that you could add a little flavor. Okay, so what I like to do, well, it's not going to work with this little onion, but I'll do this. You just slice it up, and then you're just basically going to dice the onion into small little pieces. There's an easier way to do this, but it was a little bit hard when I have such a tiny little piece. So you just keep cutting it. It'll go down like this. Make it nice and fine. Oh Lord, I think I'm about to start crying. These onions are just really getting me. Mrs. Lemke, it's okay, don't cry.
It's not the onion, I just miss these kids.
That's the real reason why we cry. We miss you all so much. Okay, that's about it for this onion. I'm gonna put a little bit of onion. Like I said, I don't like too much, so just put a little bit. I think that's about good here. So this is what your bowl should look like right now.
Alright, so we are going to be cutting our limes now. If your lime, if you give it a little squeeze and it doesn't give too much, you can definitely roll it just with the base of your hand here and just kind of roll it. This releases the juices inside and helps it become more ripe and easy for guacamole. So this one is probably the easiest one that we have to cut. So you're just gonna, whoop.
Wow, did you see the juices come out of that one?
Woo! I rolled it a lot.
Yeah.
Alright, so you're just going to cut it in half and then squeeze it into your guac.
Oh wait. Okay, go.
Alright, so you can see how easy the juice comes out after I rolled it for a little bit. If you feel like you definitely want more of that, because you can see there's still quite a bit in there, you can get your spoon and kind of just make your own little juicer there. It's like a DIY. And you can see even more is coming out now. And you're just gonna put as much or as little as you want. If you don't have fresh limes, it is okay in this instance to get just lime juice.
Okay, now we are gonna add salt into our guacamole right now. But you know what, Mrs. Lemke? What about garlic?
Oh yeah, so we're gonna add just a pinch of garlic.
Just kidding!
Garlic doesn't belong in guacamole. Okay?
No.
No
Powdered,
garlic.
fresh, no.
Okay, So now that our guac is ready to go, a lot of people, this is where a lot of people get messed up, where we just mash it together. We're not gonna do that. We really want it to be a consistency of like pico de gallo with avocado. So we're just gonna kind of spoon it all together. We're gonna mix it in.
Some people like it a little mushy, and that's okay. Mrs. Lemke and I prefer it a little bit chunkier. It just tastes so good.
It's going to mush because these avocados are so ripe. It is going to mush a little bit as we mix it, which makes it a little bit more creamy. However, you know, like Miss T said earlier, the great thing about guacamole is that you can customize it really to your taste. All right, and I think that looks pretty good. Just as an additional note, you can, if you want, add some peppers, whatever pepper of your choosing. This is a cayenne pepper. Other people use jalapenos. If you want like an authentic Hispanic experience, you can definitely chop these up and put them in as well. They are not for everyone. It just depends on your level of taste. All right, and if you are social distancing with a friend, you can definitely just scoop it into a cup so that you're not cross-contaminating any germs.
Perfect.